A shout out to the businesses taking a walk on the wild side with us: Peterson Plumbing and Heating, QCA Pools and Spas, and R&R Sports. Nature is awesome. From big to small, there's so much adventure, from the deep and dangerous wilderness to your own backyard. We take you on a journey inside a world like you have never seen.
Right there. Oh.
An inside look at what it takes to preserve, rehab, and respect our wildlife.
There it is again.
And just what nature photographers are willing to put themselves through to capture and share the beauty of our natural world for all to see. That's wild. Let's go. Longtime friend and wildlife photographer Gene Putney loves to photograph rams, in particular during the rut season, when they're showing dominance in hopes of making a love connection. These bighorn sheep sure live up to their name. The curved horns alone weigh in at about 30 pounds. The animals themselves up to 300 pounds, and 5 to 6 feet long from head to tail. To really get a feel of the size of these beauties, I wanted to see them for myself. You know, they're part of the bovine family that live in the Rockies from Mexico all the way up to Canada. They are related to bison, goats, antelope, and cattle. But you wouldn't want to try to milk one of these beasts. So we head to Waterton Canyon, Colorado, where they are on the dating circuit this time of year. We are here. We got to Waterton Canyon, down here south of Denver. And now, from what I understand, we got about a 3-mile hike that's going to take about an hour or so to get up to where the animals may or may not be today. Our goal today, somehow get these bighorn sheep ramming their heads together. You think that can happen? I don't know, but we're going to take a shot. I've never been here, and since my guide couldn't make it, I head out on my own. Actually, don't have a real good idea if I'm even in the right place. I was in the wrong place before, I think. 2 fly fishermen told me it's up this way. I'm going to hope for sure to find it, because if not, I don't know if I'll be able to try again today. So now this is the importance of having a guide. I just walked almost an hour the wrong way, walked into, along the trail, a wildlife enthusiast pointed me in the right direction. So, you know, the journey is supposed to be enjoyed as much as the goal, right? Because now we believe we're finally on the correct trail. Finally in the canyon. Let's get to work. The air is light, and making my way up is tough as I try to make up for a little lost time. I have a small window to get all the way up and get my stuff and get back down. Just ran into a gentleman, you probably see him back that way. Says he's been up here about 3 miles in, and says there's a bunch of them up on the ridge, but they're not coming down close enough to view. So 3 people, by the way, 3 people is the total so far that have been up in this area that I talked to on the way back, that have not had much luck. But we've been known to have some really good luck. So we'll see what happens. They are so well camouflaged on these rocks. I'm hoping to maybe see them up there on the ridge. And huffing and puffing, my hard work is about to pay off big time. Something on the road. I actually think they're walking towards me. I think we might have found some bighorn sheep. Now they see me, they kind of stopped. So this is what's pretty cool. 3 people on the trail. Nobody's really seen any. The only ones I saw were way up here on the ridge. We get over here. We find some down by the road. And then we start getting set up to get the big ones up here. And they're gone. But the cool thing is, some days some people see none at all. Other days they see a lot of activity. And as you know, we don't give up very easily. So they're all gone now. But they're going to come back. I know it. So we're going to camp out, we're going to get our cards ready, and we're going to be ready to roll. Last time I had my Zoom Ryan was using it with me, and he does everything on manual. So when those rams got so close, they actually got too close to me. I couldn't pull back out, but I didn't want to mess with stuff and make sounds that would scare them away. So I just kind of dealt with what I had. But I think we picked up good shots anyway. So now I'm really ready, and we're going to get some. So here we go. Hopefully you can see them. I'm shooting blind. I'm using the trees as my guide. Just simply too much glare on my viewfinder here to see them. My attention pulled away from the mountains back to the road for something I will never forget. You gotta be kidding me. Look what's walking right at me. That's a person up there on the left whistling to make sure I know what is coming right at me. Yeah, he's hard to miss now. I have to make the decision. Stay where I am, get the shot, and move as little as possible. Watch as he pauses slightly, looks at me, probably thinking right now, do I ram him or not? That would have hurt. I'm glad he said go around, not through me. As I catch my breath, the whistling guy following the ram gets up to me and gives me a quick rundown after I barely escaped being run down myself.
I'm Joe Orgill. I'm a volunteer with Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
He has been working this area for years.
The rams are the big all-star here in the canyon. This is probably the best place in the world to see Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep.
Wow. Why do you think the bighorn sheep like this area, this terrain?
So they're born here, they live here, and they die here. The herd here is at present approximately between 70 and 90. They like it here because of the cliffs. That gives them their defense. That lets them run away from predators that might try to do them harm. So they're very nimble on the cliffs. They can run, they can walk, they can climb, and other creatures that are trying to get them, they can't. Because this road, as you can see behind us, is 25, 30 feet wide, and you can't jump in the river, you can't climb the mountain.
He says we all need to make sure we give these animals as much space as possible. This is their home, after all, not ours. My new friend, Rick Martinez, a wildlife photographer, weighs in. He's been in this position a time or two himself.
It feels really weird, and you don't normally want to be that close to wildlife, especially like that. But in a situation like Waterton Canyon, there's no place to go other than really far away. You're sort of stuck against the mountain or the river.
So for me, when I had to make that tough decision, whether to stay behind the camera or make a run for it up the mountain, the best thing was just to stay put. Most
of the time, that's just fine. I don't know of anybody that got hurt, there by a ram hitting them. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I've never heard of it happening. It's a lot different here with elk, but with rams, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, so if it's elk or moose, they might run you over.
That's true, especially elk. Elk are, get very aggressive, and they're all over town, and people have a tendency to get a little too close. Enough adventure for one day. I got my video, kept my body intact, and I head back down. Plans are to come back tomorrow, see if I can get my next bucket list shots. But Mother Nature has other plans. But you guessed it, we aren't giving up. We just gotta see why they call these bighorns rams in the first place. Because this is wild. That's wild. Let's go.